Since February 2018, a crack team consisting of an old hipster, a rookie, and Tyrod Taylor's biggest fan record from a secret location in the heart of Scotland. Their aim is to try and dissect all things NFL. If you want their opinion, and if you can find them, this is the American Fitbaw Cast. Welcome back to the American Fitbaw Cast.
The what?
The American Fitbaw Cast. I have so much deja vu just now. I don't know what's going on because, surprise, we might have messed up on the recording. So, take two. What were we going to talking about in the first one?
Oh, Jesus, Steve.
So,
it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yes, 7 weeks, we thought?
Something like that.
Way too long. The off-season's been hellishly long as well.
Yeah.
And never mind, we're back. Football is back. Happy days. The Game Pass will be getting activated tomorrow. So tomorrow, I think, is renewal day. And
day after tomorrow, 1st of August, isn't it?
1st of August is it?
Thursday.
Yeah. Hall of Fame game at the weekend, where we will get 1 or 2 starters and 53 people that'll barely make rosters. Happy days. Yeah. But it's something. It's
is the Hall of Fame game this year?
I actually don't know off the top of my head. That's terrible. I've not even looked. I've been so out the loop at the minute. It's terrible. Gav's
conversation killer. Great stuff, guys. Great stuff.
Tune in next week when we know more about the NFL.
So, first thing you probably noticed is the episode length is way shorter than we normally would. So we're going to try something a bit different. Normally, instead of having the big long-winded episode, we're going to cut it into 4 quarters, which I thought really long and hard of. 4 quarters of NFL, 4-quarter episodes. Job done. So
it's Falcons Broncos. Is the whole thing
Broncos.
Bleh.
Julio Jones is not playing the entire preseason, so it's already boring. So we've digressed massively again already.
Steve's lost the plot. Right,
That's
so
normal.
New format. That'll be a funny it'll be a funny interlude if we get halfway through this episode and decide that we're going to can that format.
I can feel a take 3
You'll
coming.
Find but you'll already know now, because if you're looking at it going, they said it was 45 minutes long. This is normal length. What the hell are they talking about? It's just me, hosting badly as always. So, season 2 is about to go. We've had a break, so what we're going to do, back on the division
mental break by the sounds of it.
Normal. Oh dear. We're a bit rusty, as you can tell. Thanks for sticking with us.
For yourself.
Oh, Gav, you're a pro now. You're an absolute podcast
you're a professional
pro.
podcaster these days, are you not?
I'm a big deal.
Kind of a big deal. All right, Rowan. Oh dear.
So yeah, before we get into what we're going to talk about, Steve, let's just recap how tonight's episode started.
Oh dear. So
we were meant to record this 3 weeks ago, I think it is now.
No, probably nearly 3 weeks ago now.
Yep. We were meant to record on a Friday in our secret recording location,
which is definitely not work.
Yeah. We got to 5 to midnight on the Thursday evening, and Gav dropped us a message in our organisational work chat, group chat, and said, "Oh boys, I'm not at work tomorrow. Might have to can that recording." So cheers, Gav. And then it's holiday season, so I was away on holiday. Steve was away on holiday.
We got back yesterday. Says, "Right, Gav, when we recording?" He's like, "Can't do work, but tomorrow night at Casa del Gav."
Casa del Gav.
I can't remember what I got last time. Costa del Latham.
Jeez.
To which I arrive at the scheduled time of 8 o'clock to find Gav's not in.
Where were you, Gav?
I was a walk around the park.
Totally forgot.
God,
and here we are again.
So getting this this episode recorded really hasn't been a walk in the park.
Oh,
definitely not.
Love it. Dad joke 101.
So what are we talking about?
Back into the division previews. Why not?
Oof.
Yes, here we go again. So we're going to start with the AFC North.
Yep.
Quick 10 minutes on some of the transactions happening in the division, and then we'll talk through where we think the teams are going to finish in part 2. And then later on, we will go into our other division, which you'll find out later.
So the only transaction that matters in this division is Baker Mayfield to OBJ.
Love it.
To be fair, there is one team that has head and shoulders slam dunked the off-season. Whether they can hold it together, who knows?
It's been said time and time again that you just can't go around basically playing fantasy football with the franchises. The Browns have kind of done that with their transactions over this off-season, so it'll be really interesting to see how that pans out.
Yep.
What do each of you make of the individual transactions that...
It's definitely way more influx of big talent than what left, which is great to see. And to follow up on the fact that the draft classes for the last couple of years have been pretty solid.
Yep.
Particularly getting Mayfield in quarterback.
Did you nearly say Maker Bayfield?
Maker Mayfield.
I wasn't letting that one slip.
That's just tongue-tied. It's usual rubbish. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so they obviously got the Beckham deal through early on, which was good. They've got Kareem Hunt, who...
do you know what? I totally forgot about him.
8
games.
8 games.
Well, I want to say it's 8 that he's out for.
Okay.
We don't want to get into the morality of Kareem Hunt.
We could go down.
It's something we've spoke about on the podcast before. I think
it'll come up again when we do the AFC West in a few weeks.
Yeah, I mean it's clear that Dorsey trusts him.
Yes.
He
drafted him.
He drafted him at the Chiefs. He obviously feels that he can manage him, which is why he's brought him into the Browns. And having a fresh Kareem Hunt come into your team after 8 weeks
for the tail end of the season, that could be quite nasty. He's arriving beginning of November.
Yeah,
just where the season starts for a lot of teams.
Do you worry?
It's pretty good.
Do you worry about how they keep everyone happy?
As in too many superstars.
There's a lot of mouths to feed. So Nick Chubb had a great year last year.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt then comes into that. How do you balance that out? You also then have Odell Beckham. You then have Jarvis Landry. You've got OJ Howard.
I feel like...
Not OJ Howard. David Njoku. I was getting mixed up.
I feel like to me it doesn't seem like there's going to be an issue between Beckham and Landry because they're so close off the field.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a big thing that was made of it when Beckham joined the Browns that Beckham and Landry have spoken every day for however many years because they are really tight friends.
Yeah, I'm more meant around about how it's not about keeping just those two happy, it's all 5 of those people happy.
Yeah.
That's when you think of how do you make sure everyone gets the right amount of touches and the right amount of targets, and then you've got all the peripheral players who at some point will say, well, what about me?
Yeah.
So you've got Freddie Kitchens, who kind of installed himself as a bit of an offensive guru last year, relatively unheralded before he took over, and has done the business, really, to be honest, and can do some of these funny plays where you can put different people in. I mean, they can have a formation, all 5 will be on the field at the same time, and then it's who's going to get it, which Baker can probably call, from the line, to be honest. So,
I'm just
it's maybe all on the defense. It's maybe more like defense needs to get off the field really quick, give the offense more time on the field, and then therefore we'll be happy.
And they brought in Oliver Vernon from the New York Giants.
And Sheldon Richardson as well. They managed to sign to beef up.
And they already had a pretty good defense. To be fair, it was just they took a while to get going last year. So if they can start quickly, then it could be positive for the Browns.
Yeah, definitely.
Who are we going to next?
Well, we go to the Ravens. Because in my eyes, they lost the most by far. The 4 biggies, three biggies and a so-so. Crabtree obviously isn't back this year. He actually did really well for them last year, I thought, because they had really no receiving depth 2 years ago, and that was where one of their biggest weaknesses was.
Yep.
And they went out and got quite a lot of people. Crabtree did quite well for them, but he was a one and done. Joe Flacco's obviously been traded to the Broncos.
Yep.
That's kind of the big one, but we kind of knew that by the end of last season when what's his name took over, Lamar Jackson. And then 2 big defenders, Darius Smith and CJ Mosley.
Yeah, and that's where the big losses are for me.
Yeah.
Crabtree did a good job for them. I think he's definitely a replaceable character.
He's at that point in his career now where you can go and do a job for someone for 1 year, and then he'll probably, he'll have a couple of seasons bouncing around teams or getting picked up quarter of the way through the season and playing out in season with somebody.
Yeah, there certainly was a point early on where we were all early on in free agency, where it was clear to everyone that at that point the Ravens had so far lost free agency.
Dumpster fire. Everyone's on sale. It's like that Oprah Winfrey meme. You can have a car. You can have a car. Everyone can have a car.
Yeah, but they pulled it back a little bit with a couple of acquisitions, bringing in Mark Ingram from the Saints and Earl Thomas as well.
Yep.
Which are two quality additions.
Yep.
They are super run heavy already last year because they had obviously Jackson himself, Gus the Bus was causing havoc, and then I want to say somebody like Alex Collins or somebody like that.
I think
came in as a third.
I think the difference is that Ingram can catch the ball and run the ball.
But
so
Lamar Jackson can't throw the ball, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think this year we might see a bit of progression with that. They drafted Marquise Hollywood Brown, am I right in saying that? Who is a deep threat. Yes. So I think they realised that they were too one-dimensional last season.
They need to have someone to take the top off to open up the run game a bit more as well.
So
because the Chargers absolutely figured them out in wildcard game. It was
destroyed them.
One-sided.
Stop the run, and there's nothing else they could do.
So I think that draft pick and Mark Ingram's dual threat capability makes him a little less predictable and harder to deal with. But it's a big step for Lamar Jackson this year. And Earl Thomas coming off a major injury. That'll be interesting to see how he comes back.
He of the busted ankle/knee, whatever it was, and the side cart with the middle finger down the sideline saying, "See you later, Seahawks. I ain't coming back."
That was one of the highlights of the Cardinals season, seeing him stick the finger up to the Seahawks.
Oh, it was really good. You knew that was him. It was game over. He was not coming back. He wasn't happy as it was anyway, because I think he tried to force the trade last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Cowboys he was trying to get to, wasn't it? Is that right?
Yeah, that probably makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And then got injured in game 4, and that was it. Season over. Steelers. Right, so, quick bit of research I was doing earlier on, and I was looking through it. Basically, the Steelers, they extended Mike Tomlin for a year. He was already in this year, so they've gone for another year now. So, whether that's a good thing or not, totally open to debate, but he is one of the longest tenured coaches ever, and the Steelers have always done this. We will give everyone loads. I think it was like 3 coaches in 50 odd years or something ridiculous like that.
I don't like it.
I wrote down, added a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah.
Who have they signed? I actually don't know. The more I look at it, they got Mark Barron, who is a
Was that from the Rams?
Yes, but also I think Tampa Bay drafted him. He's been bouncing around a couple of teams, got him for 2 years, and a couple other people that I was just like, they're so.
B-list they lost Antonio Brown and brought in Dante Moncrief and
that was it. Dante Moncrief
and Ryan Switzer, who was like the 6th choice for the Cowboys. Not even like a good wide receiver core.
Yeah, it's just like, what the hell is going on? And then obviously the loss of AB as well. So Steelers. What are we thinking?
Up there with the Giants in terms of dumpster fire at the moment.
You think that bad?
Yeah.
I'm going to make a bold prediction.
Yep.
Juju Smith-Schuster will have the most receiving yards out of any wide receiver
in the league.
In the league.
I think you're wrong, but anyway.
That's my bold prediction.
He's going to be right up there, but I mean, barring industry, obviously
all things being
the
equal.
usual things. But you're right, Big Ben's going to throw it out. He is pretty much
the number one.
Target. It's whether he gets double teamed so much.
Yeah, I don't think he'll cope with the extra attention.
They don't have someone in the back like a Lev Bell to take. Connor.
James Conner was good. He just got injured a lot. He had a whole load of concussions. But
do have one of the better roll lines.
I actually read an article a couple of weeks ago about the Steelers on the NFL, and basically the way they see it is, so Juju becomes AB, but they're really, really positive about James Washington, who they drafted last year, and towards the end of last season he started to show some promise, and they think that he'll take the Juju role and Juju takes the AB role. If you get what I get it. So I just think I think he could be really good and really good in fantasy as well.
Gav's fantasy picks filtering straight back in.
We'll see though. That is a bold prediction. You know what? There's the wide receiver core in the whole league is insane. So that's why it's a bold prediction.
It is a passing league now as well. So. There's going to be a lot of competition for that. Which leaves us one team left to
One
discuss.
team, the Bungles.
Yes.
The Bengals.
Who
They've hired a quarterback coach as their head coach.
That was really the only thing I put under added that I thought was of any relevance. They re-signed Darqueze Dennard and Tyler Eifert, who they had previously cut, so it's like one of these, cut them and bring them back on cheaper deals. They've got, did you ever remember Moritz Boehringer when he played at the Vikings? He did an international player pathway, wide receiver.
The German guy.
Came out of nowhere, kind of was a bit of a success story, and you thought he was.
Yeah, I do remember.
And he seems to he's just kind of fallen off the. Don't know what happened, but it was a couple of years ago. He's back in with the Bengals on an international player development plan again.
Okay.
But as a tight end this time.
Wow.
So
it's one we can look out for. I think the only positive thing I can think of from the Bengals is that they're getting the top 3 pick next year.
Straight in there. I do you know what, it's very difficult to argue against that, to be honest. One big loss for them.
Yeah.
Your
my
man,
guy.
Vonnie Burfitt.
Yeah.
It's Vontaze Burfitt or whatever it's pronounced.
Yeah,
it's not Andrew Smith. That's what it is.
one positive of him leaving though is that he's gone to the Raiders.
So mentalist.
So
the right place for him to go.
So when it comes to breaking people, I expect him to continue to break people. The only thing that could have made it even better is if him and Greg Williams got together. That would have been
nasty. Really, really nasty.
The Jets,
didn't he?
Yeah. Adam Gase and Greg Williams. I can't wait to do that preview.
Listen out later. No, it's not next week.
Right, so that brings us to the end of quarter 1 in this new format. We hope you've enjoyed listening to that little first part of this week's episode.
First quarter,
yeah.
Yep.
And listen again tomorrow for the second quarter.